Right now, people around the world are asking one serious question. Has World War III just started? In the last few days, the United States and Israel have launched major strikes on Iran. Iran has responded across the region. Airspace is closing. Missiles are flying. Military bases are on alert. And one of the most powerful leaders in the Middle East has just been killed. Everyone is trying to understand. Who is fighting? Why are they fighting? Why now? And how did the world reach this point? But before we continue, I want to speak directly to you. As believers, we must always pay attention to the fulfilled scriptures in the Bible. The Bible warned that in the last days there would be wars and rumors of wars. Nations would rise against nations. Fear would fill the earth. These events should not only inform us, they should awaken us. They should remind us to stay close to Jesus Christ at all times. The end is not something to joke about. The signs are becoming clearer every day. This is the time to remain faithful, prayerful, and spiritually alert. Now, to understand what is happening today, we must go back more than 40 years to a revolution that completely changed Iran and reshaped the Middle East. That revolution was built around one man, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. Let's go back. More than 40 years ago, Iran was not ruled by religious leaders. It was ruled by a king known as Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. At that time, Iran looked very modern on the outside. Big cities were growing. Western music and fashion were popular. The Shah was very close to the United States and Europe. He wanted Iran to look like a Western country. But many people inside Iran were unhappy. The Shah had almost complete power. People who spoke against the government could be arrested. A secret police force watched critics closely. Many people were afraid to speak freely. At the same time, life was not improving for everyone. Some became rich, but many felt left behind. Religious groups believed Iran was losing its identity. Students and workers wanted more fairness and freedom. Different groups were angry for different reasons. But slowly, they began listening to one man, a religious leader who had been forced into exile. That man was Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. In the early 1960s, the Shah introduced reforms to modernize Iran. Women gained the right to vote. Religious courts lost power. Land reforms were introduced. Ties with the United States grew stronger. Some supported these changes, but Khomeini strongly opposed them. He believed the Shah was weakening Islam. He believed the Shah was giving too much power to foreign countries, especially America. In 1964, Khomeini was arrested and forced into exile. He was first sent to Turkey. Later, he moved to Iraq, where he lived for years in the city of Najaf. Even in exile, he continued speaking. His speeches were recorded on cassette tapes and secretly brought back into Iran. People listened in homes, mosques, and universities. Slowly, his voice became the voice of resistance. By the late 1970s, protests against the Shah grew larger. Millions filled the streets. Strikes shut down businesses and oil production. The government struggled to function. Security forces opened fire on demonstrators. Many were killed. But instead of stopping the protests, the violence made people even angrier. The Shah was also very sick with cancer, although many people did not know. His leadership became weak. On January 16, 1979, he left Iran. Officially, he said it was a vacation. In reality, he never returned. 2 weeks later, Khomeini came back. Millions welcomed him. Within weeks, the monarchy collapsed. The army declared neutrality. The old system ended. In March 1979, a national vote was held. People were asked one question: should Iran become an Islamic republic? The official result said over 98% voted yes. And just like that, Iran changed. Later that year, the United States allowed the exiled Shah to enter America for medical treatment. Many Iranians believed America was protecting him. Revolutionary students stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and took American diplomats hostage. They demanded the Shah be returned to Iran for trial. The crisis lasted 444 days. Relations between Iran and the United States never recovered. Iran was no longer ruled by a king. But it was not a normal democracy either. At the top of the system was a new position called the Supreme Leader. This role combined religious and political power. The Supreme Leader controlled the military, appointed top judges, influenced the media, and had the final say in major decisions. A powerful force called the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps was created to protect the revolution. They answered directly to the Supreme Leader. For 10 years, Khomeini led Iran. Religious laws expanded. Western influence decreased. Critics were arrested. Many fled the country. In 1989, Khomeini died. The Assembly of Experts chose a new leader, Ali Khamenei. At that time, he was serving as president and did not hold the highest religious rank normally required. The constitution was amended to allow him to become supreme leader. Many expected him to be temporary, but he remained in power for more than 3 decades. He strengthened ties with the Revolutionary Guard. Loyal figures were placed in key positions. Sanctions put heavy pressure on the economy. Prices rose. Jobs became harder to find. Between 2017 and 2019, protests spread across Iran over economic hardship. Security forces responded with deadly force. In 2022, protests erupted again after the death of Mahsa Amini. She was a 22-year-old woman arrested by morality police for not wearing her headscarf properly. She died shortly after detention. Many believed she was beaten. Her death sparked nationwide demonstrations. Women removed their headscarves in public. Students and workers joined protests. Some protesters were arrested. Some were executed. At the same time, tensions with Israel and the United States were rising. Israel had long warned it would never allow Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. Israeli and American officials said they had intelligence that Iran was strengthening missile and nuclear programs. They believed waiting would make the threat harder to stop. So Israel decided to strike first, with support from the United States. Airstrikes hit targets inside Iran. During those strikes, Iran's supreme leader was killed. Iran responded by targeting American military bases across the Middle East. In Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Jordan. A drone even struck a British air base in Cyprus. This time, the fighting was open and direct. The death of the supreme leader did not collapse the system. A temporary leadership group took control, while senior clerics prepared to choose a new leader. Military operations continued. Government institutions remained active. Now the region faces great uncertainty. What is clear is this: what we are seeing today did not start this week. It did not start this decade. It began decades ago, during the Iranian Revolution. And whatever happens next will shape the Middle East, and possibly the entire world, for many years to come. As believers, we must stay alert. The Bible told us these things would happen. Wars, conflict, global fear. This is not the time to drift away from God. This is the time to stay with Jesus Christ. Stay prayerful. Stay faithful. Stay ready, because the signs are clear. Thank you for watching, and if you want to stay informed at all times, don't forget to subscribe. Stay prepared. Stay grounded in Christ.